Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fine edition of TYTSports. Usually when we have Michael Schur on, it's, what is it called again? It's
What the Puck.
It's What the Puck. That's exactly right. So this may be a Olympics / hockey focused show.
What's the international puck?
What the Olympics?
Yeah, no.
No.
What the puck?
What the puck?
What the pucks with the Olympics?
I'm glad that you're dictating how the show goes when you don't run anything.
Because I know, but you have absolutely no control over this thing and no idea what you're doing.
Okay,
what the puck? What the pucks with the Olympics?
I have you on here for stability, actually. So thank you for coming in and being my partner in crime.
Good to be
my
here.
PIC. So we start with the United States men's national hockey team. A 5-1 win over Slovenia. Phil Kessel had the natural hat trick.
Yeah, a natural hat trick, by the way, 3 goals in a row. Not just 3 goals in a game, but 3 goals in a row.
And Joe Pavelski also had a fine amount of assists. I believe he had 3. What have you seen, by the way, so far from the United States men's national team?
Nothing but good hockey. I mean, they're playing really well. They seem sound. You know, it's hard to judge how these opponents are. You know, I don't know if beating Slovakia or beating Slovenia is terrific. It's
but
great.
Beating Russia.
But they're the teams you have to beat. Then you beat Russia, and that game was spectacularly good. It was exciting. It had, you know, we'll cover TJ Oshie a little bit. We'll cover the international play a little bit. But, I mean, so you have to be happy. These are the teams they have to beat, and they're beating. They're going to get to the medal round. It's going to be a little different. Still, I think the question marks are about the goaltending. I mean, you know, he's been great, you know. I don't know that I would have started him. I don't know that I wouldn't. I mean, it's a tough call for and Canada's in the same conundrum right now. I'd say a worse conundrum.
The one thing for me going into this tournament for the United States men's national team was defensively. I know that they have the star power on offense. They have the Canes, they have the Kesslers, they have the Pavelskis, the Kessels, and whatnot, the Backuses that are physical in Olympic hockey, which I love seeing. But the big question for me was defensively. And out of anything, they have certainly shown up, and they played pretty well.
And the other thing is when you have that third and fourth line, you know, that is playing physical hockey. So what you're doing is you're making up for the defense by not putting as many scorers on your roster at the beginning. So I think that's the way they looked at the balance. So keep them in the neutral zone, keep your opponents in the neutral zone, not let them penetrate as much. Thus far, it's worked.
Can we pull up the picture, actually, the graphic, maybe you could say, of the tournament bracket? Because as of right now, Canada is the 3 seed because they went to overtime. They needed overtime to beat Finland 2-1. Drew Doughty, LA Kings man, scored 2 goals. So you see the United States at the bottom. They will either play the Czech Republic, if we could zoom out a little bit. They'll either play the Czech Republic or Slovakia at the bottom. Thank you. Canada will either play Switzerland or Latvia. Obviously, they'd rather play Latvia. Switzerland looks pretty damn good. Jonas Hiller goaltending. Russia against Norway. The winner will play Finland and Sweden. They don't have Zetterberg. They don't have Franzen, yet they still look good. They still have the 1 seed, and they will either play Slovenia or Austria. I expect, if we could leave this up for a second, I expect Sweden to go through. Obviously, if Russia beats Norway, that'd be a hell of a tough matchup for Finland, and Canada obviously rooting for Switzerland, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about what the hell of a matchup it is for Russia as well. Should Russia beat Norway, go on, which presumably they'll do, to play Finland. There's a lot of pressure on this Russian team right now. They have, you know, they went to overtime again. They haven't looked unbelievable yet, and they had to, you know, they had to win in a shootout, which they weren't able to do against the United States. So it could be a really tight game. Finland's probably pumped. They have nothing to lose. That to me is one of the games really to watch.
Finland has been the most surprising. Not to cut you up, Finland has been the most surprising to me. Maybe it's because I wouldn't say that I lack the knowledge, but I would say that I haven't seen them play in 4 years. I mean, since Vancouver. But what they have shown me is they're really good defensively. Yeah. And they are great. They are a great forechecking team. I mean, they have just shown me a real lot.
Finland is one of the teams that takes advantage most, or has the most to gain from this wider, bigger rink, because a lot of what they do is a lot of their breakout plays involve using the entire rink. So these international rinks, which are bigger, which work to the Canadians and Americans' disadvantage, supposedly, though, you know, I mean, that hasn't hurt them in medals. You know, they play hockey. Sometimes they play on smaller rinks. Sometimes they play on bigger rinks growing up anyway. But Finland is a team that can take advantage of that. And listen, I think you know, Finland has been a medalist in Olympics past. It's not that shocking. I mean, if you were to see the Czechs or the Slovaks go on and do well and medal here, that would be really surprising because they're made up of so few of international, so few NHL players.
How is Sweden? I mean, like, they've impressed me because they've overcome such huge injuries to star players. Haven't they impressed you a little bit, if not at all?
I mean, I always expect them to be good, though. They have the best shooters in hockey. They have they really are able to work the ice, and they also have a great familiarity with the way the other teams play. In other words, the Swedes have been playing in international hockey for such a long time, so they know how to defend against the U.S., who they haven't played yet, the Russians, the other teams, whereas some of the other countries don't have that advantage.
Sure.